Hi, sixth graders. So this is going to be my first of two videos for this week. This video is going to be showing you how to complete your naming compounds worksheet. So as you see, it's going to be a little bit different than usual because this time when I do the examples, I am going to do them on my iPad because I want to show you how to do subscripts on your iPad, because when we start doing a lot of this kind of stuff, you're going to need to know how to write subscripts. So I'm going to change my view and then I'm going to come back and we will talk about kind of what else we're going to be doing. All right, I'll see you guys after the iPad view.
Alright, here's my iPad view of your assignment. So please remember that when you are opening an assignment on Google Docs from Classroom, that in order to edit it, like how I have it on the screen right now, there will be a little button in the top right hand corner that has like a little box with an arrow. So please click it on there so that way you get this type of view. And once you get here, you need to click on the little pencil down at the side. So here is your assignment. So you're going to be doing a section where you are doing the full name of the compound. So you need to remember that based on if they have like a metal or non-metal or two non-metals, that there is different rules for how you name it. So if you have a compound that is a metal and a non-metal, remember when you are naming it, you are going to completely ignore the numbers. If you have one that is two non-metals, you are going to include the numbers in its name. So you need to remember what the little suffixes are for each number. And as a refresher, mono is 1, di is 2, tri is 3, tetra is 4, penta 5, hexa 6, hepta 7, octa 8, nona 9, and deca is 10. So if you don't have those somewhere, I would recommend pulling them up maybe from last week's little PowerPoint. So we're going to start with this top section here where we're writing out the full name. So I highly recommend that you have a periodic table because you need to look and see what is a metal versus a non-metal. So my first example is CaF2. So let's go over to our periodic table and see what Ca and F are. So Ca on our periodic table, it's right here. So Ca is a metal and F is a non-metal. So if we look back at our document here, so Ca is a metal, F is a non-metal. So for naming this one, I am going to ignore the numbers. So for its name, remember you need to write out the first name of the element, the first element. So I have calcium. And then for the second one, I am not going to include any prefix because it is a binary ionic. So I'm going to write fluoride. Remember, they need to end in "ide." So I have calcium fluoride, and I might have spelled fluoride wrong. Sorry. Alright, so our second example, we have NO2. So let's go ahead and look back at this periodic table here. So on our periodic table, N is nitrogen. Nitrogen is a non-metal, and oxygen is also a non-metal. So my naming is going to be different for this one. So remember for the naming, if you have a number behind your first element here, which for this one we don't, you are going to just write the name like how you did on the first one. So you're just going to write the name nitrogen. So I have nitrogen, and then behind the O I have a 2. So I need to remember what the prefix is for 2, and that is di. So I'm just going to write di. And then oxygen is oxide, so it's going to be oxide. So I have nitrogen dioxide. So like for H2O, remember you need to include that prefix for that 2 in front of hydrogen. And then O, if there's nothing behind it, you need to assume that it's 1. So you need to write the name for 1, which is mono. Alright, going down here, you are going to write the formulas for the following chemical compounds, and the reason why I'm doing this on the iPad is so that way you can see how to make the subscript on here. So for this one, you don't really need your periodic table unless you don't know the symbols for each element. So you don't need to worry if it's a metal or a non-metal. You just need to know the symbols and the names for the subscripts. So for my first one, I have phosphorus trichloride. So phosphorus on our periodic table, its symbol is P, and then chloride is Cl. So I have PCl, and then to make my subscript, I'm going to click on this A in the top right hand corner that has the lines next to it. So I have that A, and then if you look here, there's that X with a 2 kind of below it. I'm going to click on that, and that is going to make a subscript. So tri is 3, so I have PCl3, and that's how I make my subscript. My next one is dinitrogen monoxide. So for dinitrogen, you first need to write the symbol for nitrogen, which is just N, and then we have a di in front of it, so I need to make a subscript for di. So di is 2. I'm going to change it back so there's no subscript. And then monoxide, so oxide, remember, is O for oxygen. And because it has that mono in front of it, I do not need to write a 1. I can just leave it at O. If I have an O there, that means that there is 1 O. So if you see anything that has monoxide in it, you do not have to put a 1. Please keep that in mind. Alright, so we are going to be doing this. We're going to be doing one more thing this week, which I will tell you in the face-to-face video. Alright, see you there.
Alright, 6th grade, so we just got done doing our examples there on the iPad. I am sorry if it was a little wonky at first. That is something I have not done before, but depending on the type of assignments that we have, I might be doing that view a bit more, just because I know seeing things on the computer is different than seeing things on your iPad. So I want to try to be more integrative on using stuff on my own iPad. So if you are having trouble with this assignment, then we will definitely talk about it during our Google Hangouts session this week. I know this is something that I still have trouble with sometimes, so I completely understand if we need to review it a bit more. So we will talk about it then, and we'll do some examples. All right, I'll see you guys then. Bye.